So I'm gonna start with my contour. I already have foundation on my face, and I am using the NYX HD Concealer, and this is in the shade 07. And I'm just applying it kind of halfway on my cheekbones. I like to use a couple different colors so I can get the dimension. I'm putting a little bit on my forehead, and then I totally goofed. I did my nose, and I also did some under my chin, but I totally did it off camera, so you can kind of see what it looks like. And I'm blending this in with a Morphe G30 brush. This is my favorite brush for blending in the contour, especially on the cheekbones. If you just kind of roll the product up with the brush, it gives it a nice 3D dimensional effect to really carve out those cheekbones. I know this might look kind of harsh and unblended, but when I go back in with the powder, it's going to blend it in really nicely and seamlessly. I'm so glad to give you such a nice view of this box of tissues in my background. Like, what is that? So to blend in my nose contour, I'm using an M164 from Morphe. And I kind of use like a sliding wiping motion with the brush, and every once in a while I will take the brush and wipe it off to get some of the product off so those lines aren't so dark and harsh on my nose. I usually don't contour this shape, but I was trying to go for the shape that Selena Gomez has with her nose. Now for my highlight, I'm using the color 01. And I actually already have a little bit of Maybelline concealer under my eyes, but I like to highlight on top of that sometimes when I feel like I really have bags under my eyes, which I often have bags under my eyes, so I just like to make that area really light and really stand out to cancel out those circles. I'm going to blend that all in with the Real Techniques sponge and a little bit of Fix Plus. So after that was all blended in, I felt like I wanted to lighten up the bottom under my contour a little bit, but not as much as the NYX concealer because it is a bit lighter than my concealer. So I just went in with a little bit of the Maybelline just to really carve out those cheekbones more. Now taking these two light shades from my NYX contour palette, I am just going to set all the highlighted areas on my face. And using my Studio Fix powder by MAC, this is the same color as my skin, it's NC15. I'm kind of setting in between and everywhere that I didn't set with the light color and that I'm not going to set with a contour color. This just kind of blends and makes it seamless between the dark and the highlights. Now taking one of the darker powders and my Morphe M527 brush, I'm going to start the contour with the powder, and I'm applying this, yes, on top of the cream that I already put down, but also a little bit above it. You can see that it looks kind of harsh on the side that I haven't started with the powder, but I'm gonna start to blend these two together, and the difference between the light and the dark is what really makes it look like those cheekbones are actually there and not just painted on my face. So moving on to my eyebrows, this is a Morphe M158 brush. And I'm sorry, I forgot to show you what I'm using to fill in my eyebrows, but it is the e.l.f. eyebrow palette, and it's what I use every day. I'm using it in the shade Light, and I really love it. I think it's like $2 or $3. It's definitely a good deal. It has a powder and a pomade. So anytime that you feel like your nose contour or any contour is a little too dark, you can just go over it with the face powder that you have in your own color, and then it'll still show through, but it'll lighten it up a bit so it doesn't look so harsh. And I'm just applying a little bit of my Too Faced blush right on top of the contour. I feel like Selena Gomez has it kind of sitting right on top of her contour, going all the way back, as opposed to just on the apples of the cheeks. And I'm taking my Mary Luminizer. I am doing very minimal highlighting. I just want more of a glow, not so much of a highlight. Her face wasn't extremely highlighted, but it did look very healthy and sort of a natural glow. So I'm just going for a very, very light application of this. So moving on to my eyes, I already have concealer on my eyes and it has started to crease now, so I'm using my Morphe M492 brush and I'm just going to smooth out all of those creases. And then I am just taking a bit of my MAC Studio Fix powder and I'm setting my eyes so I have a good base and none of that moves around. It's also a lot easier to blend eyeshadow once you have something skin color down first. So taking my Lorac Pro palette, I'm going to start with the color Champagne on a Morphe M562 brush. And I'm just putting that into the corners of my eyes. I know it's really hard to see on camera. It looks like I'm not doing anything, but she just has the tiniest little bit of shimmer in this makeup look, so I just wanted to get a tiny little bit of shimmer into the corner of the eyes. Next, I'm taking taupe and a MAC 217 brush, and this is just a little sample card that I'm holding on my eye, up next to my eye, and I'm going to use that as a stencil to get that really harsh line that she has. And I'm going to start by making the shape that she has because this look is not very blended. It's very harsh lines on the eyes. So I'm just going to start by tracing out that shape and kind of filling it in. And you can see I keep going back and forth and looking at both of them, trying to get them even, making sure there's the same amount of color on both eyes. I'm also taking this color taupe on a pencil brush and I'm buffing that under my eye as well. I'm just taking a little bit more of that taupe color and blending it in, filling in some of the gaps, and just making sure that I have enough brown in the areas that I want it. Moving on to the color Sable, this darker brown, I am taking that into the crease and the outer V in the corner just to define this shape a little bit more. I also put a bit of Sable under my eye as well. And to clean up the under eye, I'm just going in with a little more light powder just to really re-emphasize my highlight. I am using these Soho lashes from Coco Lashes and I am curling my eyelashes first. I then applied the lashes off camera. Sorry, that was a total mistake. But I am going to go in with my mascara after just to blend the fake lashes into my natural lashes. And for my lips, I used an NYX lip liner called Pale Pink. Gosh, I've used a lot of NYX in this tutorial. And I'm also putting a little bit of the LA Girl lip paint in the color Whisper on top of the lip liner, which I did use the lip liner to sort of fill in my whole lips. And I don't know if it is the season change or what, but my lips have been so dry and chapped lately. I have not found a good chapstick that really hydrates and takes care of it. So any recommendations are much appreciated. That's it for this tutorial. Please give it a thumbs up, leave any comments below. Don't forget to subscribe. I will be uploading new videos soon, and please leave any suggestions of things that you might want to see in the comments below, and I will see you next time.